Most people think the story of economics begins with Adam Smith. Some might mention Karl Marx. A few, if they paid attention in school, will say Aristotle. But almost no one is taught this. Nearly 1,000 years ago, a medieval Muslim scholar predicted the core failures of the modern financial system. He warned that when money loses its moral purpose, markets rot, trust collapses, and entire civilizations fall apart. And looking at our world today, runaway debt, speculative bubbles, collapsing trust, it's hard to escape the feeling that he understood us far better than we understand ourselves. Welcome to The Financial Historian, where money, power, and history collide, and nothing is ever as simple as it looks. To understand this story, you have to step back nearly 1,000 years. The year is around 1100 CE. Europe is fractured, poor, and unstable, still struggling to recover from the early Middle Ages. Cities are small, trade is limited, literacy is rare. But beyond Europe, another world exists. The Islamic world stretches from Spain to Central Asia. Its cities, Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo, are global hubs of wealth, learning, and commerce. Caravans move silk, spices, gold, and silver across continents. Markets are crowded, trade routes pulse with life. Scholars debate philosophy, medicine, astronomy, and law. This is a civilization growing rich, and very fast. And that rapid transformation is exactly what worried one man. His name was Abu Hamid Al-Ghazali. Born in 1058 in Persia, Al-Ghazali rose quickly through the intellectual elite. By his mid-30s, he held one of the most prestigious teaching positions in the Islamic world. But prestige never satisfied him. While others celebrated prosperity, Al-Ghazali noticed something disturbing. Society was becoming obsessed with wealth, but drifting away from meaning, fairness, and responsibility. Outwardly, the economy looked strong. Inwardly, something felt wrong. And so he asked a question that few thinkers, even today, are brave enough to ask. What happens when a civilization becomes rich faster than it becomes wise? To answer it, he didn't study armies or kings. He studied money. Here's what surprises most modern audiences. Al-Ghazali was not just a theologian. He was one of the earliest thinkers to analyze money as a moral and systemic force. For him, money was never meant to be worshipped, hoarded, or admired. It was a tool, nothing more. He compared money to a mirror. A mirror has no value by itself. Its worth comes from what it reflects. Money works the same way. Its power doesn't come from gold or silver, but from what it allows people to exchange, build, and cooperate. And from this simple idea came one of his most dangerous conclusions. Hoarded money is dead money. Al-Ghazali believed wealth locked away in chests, vaults, or hidden rooms wasn't just useless, it was destructive. Money that doesn't circulate doesn't pay workers. It doesn't support trade. It doesn't strengthen society. He described hoarding as freezing the bloodstream of civilization. Scarcity appears not because resources are gone, but because circulation is blocked. Prices distort. Markets fail. Ordinary people suffer. This wasn't a moral rant. It was a systemic diagnosis, one that sounds disturbingly modern in a world of offshore wealth and extreme inequality. Al-Ghazali was equally ruthless towards speculation. He despised merchants who manipulated prices, created artificial shortages, or profited from crisis. To him, this wasn't intelligence, it was corruption. Whoever profits from the suffering of others, he wrote, profits from corruption. and corruption, once normalized, spreads. From markets to institutions, from institutions to the state, from the state to society itself. If this sounds like a commentary on financial bubbles, crisis profiteering, or predatory markets, that's because it is, just written 900 years earlier. Al-Ghazali believed something many economists struggle to admit. Markets only work when people trust each other. Dishonest trade, false weights, hidden defects, lies, destroys that trust. And once trust collapses, the economy collapses right behind it. Long before modern terminology, he described ideas we now call information asymmetry, moral hazard, transaction costs. But to him, the message was simpler. When trust dies, prosperity follows. Al-Ghazali believed labor had dignity. Wealth earned through effort strengthened society. Wealth gained through manipulation weakened it. His logic was practical. Societies grow strong when people contribute. They decay when people exploit. And his criticism didn't stop with individuals. It moved upward toward rulers. Medieval rulers often diluted gold and silver coins to stretch their budgets. Al-Ghazali called this what it was: theft. Currency debasement punished the poor. It eroded trust. It destabilized markets. He warned that if rulers manipulated money too often, people would abandon their currency entirely. 1,000 years later, history proved him right. Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Argentina. Whenever trust in money collapses, people flee it. Because money is not metal or paper, it is belief. Al-Ghazali reached a brutal conclusion. A society can survive poverty. It cannot survive corruption. Economic collapse isn't about numbers failing. It's about trust failing. When leaders cheat, merchants cheat. When institutions lie, individuals stop caring, and the entire system becomes a chain reaction of distrust. Now look around. Runaway debt, speculation rewarded over contribution, growing inequality, falling trust in institutions, inflation eroding purchasing power. The technology is new, the scale is global, but the behavior is unchanged. Al-Ghazali would look at our world and repeat his warning: where justice is lost, prosperity cannot remain. Al-Ghazali wasn't preaching religion, he was describing reality. Money is not mechanical, it is a moral ecosystem. And when that moral framework collapses, the financial system follows. Understanding this isn't just history, it's financial protection. Because history doesn't repeat, but if you don't understand it, it will crush you all the same. If this gave you a new perspective, subscribe. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look.